Exodus 4 and verse 5. And it reads, that they may believe that the Lord God of their fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob had appeared unto thee. And the Lord said furthermore unto him, put now thine hand into thy bosom. And he put his hand into his bosom, and when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow. Reading on. And he said, put thine hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again, plucked it out of his bosom, his pocket, and behold, it was turned again as the other flesh. We're going to read Exodus 11 and 7. And it reads, but against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that you may know how that the Lord do put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel. Call halal Yahweh, Bashima Mashak Yahweh Shai, Ruha Rukakodash. Double honors to the mighty men, the elders, and the apostles, and the community, waking up the lost sheep, the house of Israel in these last days. Peace and blessings to everyone doing this truth and humbleness and sincerity. Again, I'm going to say shalom. I brought those verses out because I'm going to share a clip. Okay, I'm going to slakia, have y'all bear witness to a Hamite. Okay, now the Hamite rib, she brought out some legitimate truths about what's going on. And for the record, okay, this is for the record, I'm pro-Israel, but I'm talking about the scattered 12 tribes of Israel. And I'm going to leave it there. I am pro-Israel, but I'm Israel in regards to the lost 12 tribes of Israel. I don't give a damn about no Palestine, and I damn certain don't give a damn about a Hamite. Okay? But for what it's worth, this Hamite, she brought out some truths. But when she went off, of course, y'all see the precepts come up. Okay, there's some disclaimers that'll pop up. But for the record, again, I'm pro-Israel, but it's for the 12 tribes of the children of Israel that's scattered across the four corners of the earth. Okay? Before I show it, let me go over some... Let's go over some notifications. And we're winding down. I'm not going to keep y'all. Check out this notification I just got. Okay, this is regarding the conflict with the hospital. I'm just reading it. Okay. Al Jazeera reads from an hour ago, 7:07 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. It says, new audio and images analysis reveal Gaza hospital strike likely came from the direction of Israel, and find discrepancies in the Israel narrative. Okay. Let's get some more. Okay. I'm not going to keep y'all too much long. This was from 6 a.m. Al Jazeera reports. Okay. Gaza death toll tops 4,000 as more hospitals rendered out of service amid Israeli attacks. Right. And total siege. Okay. This war is escalating. And it's urgent. It's really urgent for our people in the world to come into the light of truth. Right? And for those of us that's in the truth, we just got to hold on to dear life. Because it's a lot that could play out going forward. I don't know about y'all. Israel. I'm a little nervous of this sudden exodus. Because they could easily... Slovakia. They could destroy America with them hypersonic nuclear missiles, or they could take the Israelis first. One or the other gotta happen, and it looks imminent. Okay. You can't rule it out because it's just too much prophecy panning out right now. Okay. You have Israel, you have Israelites in Tel Aviv, and you have Israelites, excuse me, in Hamas and the Gaza Strip, things of that nature. So that this conflict, it cuts into the narrative on Jacob's trouble, which is a daily thing for true blood-born Israelites to the deliverance. Okay? And there's still no verse in the Bible that says it specifically has to come to Babylon the Great. You can't find it in the scriptures. So Israelites, in the knowledge of this truth, you got to keep that in mind. Keep these commandments, pray, fast, keep the Sabbath day, keep it holy. Because I think this thing, is winding down, y'all. I don't know the day of the hour. That's Matthew's the 24th chapter. No man knew the day of the hour but the Father only. But you cannot rule out what's happening. And when they shoot that thing, okay, going into that Sarmat, that's your 2 Peter 3:10. America going to get shut down suddenly. That's also going into that 7th trumpet, that final trumpet. Okay, gotta keep that in mind. Let me see if there's any more. This is another notification. It reads, Iran warns Israel to halt Gaza. Okay, that's going into the strikes on the Gaza Strip. Okay, it says Iran tells Israel to stop its attacks on Gaza immediately, warning the war could expand to other parts of the Middle East. Okay, if Hezbollah joins the battle. And I think all them Islamic nations about to just surround Israel and all hell gonna break loose. On top of this, North Korea made another nuclear threat. You still have the war with Russia and Ukraine, so all the nations are turning into the so-called Middle East, and this Valley of Jehoshaphat prophecy look like it's about to play out. That's why it's urgent for Israelites to stay in this truth, love one another, okay, do your best, because I think it's winding down personally. But we'll see. It's a build-up. We all have to see and watch and occupy, meaning do this work until that trumpet go off. Okay, so I'm gonna end it. It's a short video I set up yesterday going into the Hamite woman telling some truths, but she's gonna go off and you see scriptures and whatnot come out to cut her narrative. And I'm gonna post it because it's to show Negroes in America, Native Africans are against so-called Black Americans. And the Spirit bear witness, the sister was in Israel. She was emphatically a Hamite, and her ass going into slavery. Okay, Revelation 13:10. All them nations going to be captives. That's Revelations, the 2nd chapter, 2:25 to like 26 up to 27. Okay, but with that, to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Power, Israel, Yahweh, Ba'Shem Mashiach Yahweh Shai, Ruha Rukakodash. Double honor to the mighty men, the elders, and the apostles in the community, waking up the lost sheep, the house of Israel, in these last days, bidding the marriage. Peace and blessings to everyone doing this truth and humbleness and sincerity. Israel, I love y'all.
Хочу сказать, это не угроза, то, что я сейчас, по моему поручению, военно-воздушные силы, военно-космические силы России начинают на постоянной основе патрулирование в нейтральной зоне воздушного пространства над Черным морем. И наши самолеты МиГ-31 вооружены комплексами «Кинжал». Они, как известно, имеют дальность свыше 1000 километров со скоростью 9 махов. Президент Украины
Украины практически похвастался тем, что Киев не только получил, но уже и начал использовать американские дальнобойные ракеты «Атакамс». Вашингтон тоже подтвердил, что в режиме секретности действительно передал эти ракеты киевскому режиму.
Подтвердил в режиме секретности.
Что передавал в режиме секретности эти ракеты. И вот насколько мы понимаем, эти ракеты значительно расширяют радиус возможных ударов, в том числе и вглубь территории России. Насколько это серьезно может изменить обстановку и как Россия будет реагировать?
Да, во-первых, это, конечно, наносит вред. И это создает дополнительную угрозу. Во-вторых, мы, конечно, сможем отражать эти атаки. Война есть война.
Attacks launched by Hamas that left more than 1,000 Israelis dead, underscoring his support for the Jewish state amid rising tensions in the Middle East. Biden made the trip to Tel Aviv despite the dangerous security environment, feeling it was important for him to show solidarity with Israel. He met with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and he heard from first responders and survivors of the Hamas terrorist attacks. Biden also announced while there an agreement with Israel to allow humanitarian aid to enter Gaza, which is controlled by Hamas and where scores of Palestinians lack access to food, water, and medicine as Israel carries out retaliatory strikes in the area. Aid had previously been blocked from entering the area.
We're going to make sure we have what you need to protect your people, to defend your nation. For decades, we've ensured Israel's qualitative military edge.
The visit was fraught as Israel prepares an offensive against Hamas, and it was made even more complicated after a hospital explosion in Gaza left hundreds of civilians dead, sparking protests in the region and finger-pointing. Hamas and some Arab nations blamed Israel for the explosion, but Biden, while in Tel Aviv, said that data from the Defense Department indicated that Israel was not to blame for the explosion.
I was deeply saddened and outraged by the explosion at the hospital in Gaza yesterday. And based on what I've seen, it appears as though it was done by the other team, not you.
Any believer going against Israel, you are making yourself an enemy against God.
First of all, Israelis and Palestinians worship the same God of the Abrahamic religions. It's just that because you are a Christian, you believe that present-day Israelis are the Israelites that are mentioned in the Bible, and that their land, Israel, is a holy land and a land that was promised to them by God. Now, I know you guys like the fairy tales in the Bible, but fact tells us otherwise. Present-day Israelis are not the Israelites that were mentioned in the Bible. They did not leave Egypt and travel through the Red Sea to that land in Israel. The Israelis we know today are from Europe. They are Ashkenazi Jews from Europe who went to Palestine and stole that land in 1948. That's when the Israel we know today was created, in 1948. They are on bloody stolen land. There is no difference between them and the white people in America who stole land from the Native Americans. There is no difference between them and the white settlers in Canada who stole land from the natives in Canada. There is no difference between them and the white people in Australia who stole land from the Aboriginals in Australia. They are bloody colonizers. There is no difference between them and the white people who took over South Africa. Darren puts it perfectly well when he calls these Europeans the global settler community.
Global settler community.
That's exactly what they are. But because some people would rather believe in the fairy tales that was documented in the Bible than the actual truth that is in front of them, we see them make videos like this talking about if you go against the Israelis, you are going against God. The fuck? I don't know who the chosen people of the God of the Bible is. And to be frank with you guys, I don't even bloody care. But the fact that this propaganda that the United Nations was able to cook up, propaganda being they were able to deceive the entire planet to believe that the people in Israel who are presently occupying stolen land are the people in the Bible, and we have Christian people who believe this. It's insane. It's a propaganda. I remember when I was younger and still a Christian, I used to hear my dad say things like, there is no nation on the face of this earth that can defeat Israel because the Israelis are God's chosen people. People want to save thousands of naira, dollars, shillings, cedis, whatever currency they are saving up to go down to that place That place that was created in 1948, but they believe that place is a historical place that have probably been existing over 2,000 years ago. Like, during Moses, right? That was before Jesus. So before 2,000 years ago, before Jesus, people believe that place had been there, Israel, because they believe in the fiction that is in the Bible. People are going there for pilgrimage. They consider that place to be a holy land, a land where thousands, if not millions of Palestinians have died on because a group of people just want to steal the land and make it theirs. That is the land that some of us, maybe not some, more than we need, amount of people consider that land to be holy. A land that if we put our ears to the ground and listen to that land speak, I'm not sure none of us want to hear what that land has to say. There is nothing holy about that land, but people go there for pilgrimage, to pray and expect prayers to be answered. And the fact that there are places there that you can go as a Christian to go look at things that are supposed to be evidence of Christ or Christianity, it's wild. It's wild. Like, they basically made a place to match Bible stories. They basically made a place in real life in 1948 to match Bible stories. All of it is a big fucking lie. But this is what I will say. For those that believe the propaganda, for those that believe the lie, since people want to protect your so-called God-chosen people so badly, since you people are in cohorts with the US and the UN, make on pack those people. Tell them to evacuate that stolen lands that they are occupying by force. People should go and look for somewhere in Europe to put them. I'm sure you people have space in Europe. Go and create a space if you not get. Maybe some people, they shift their house, or I don't know how you people want to do it, but shall create space in Europe for them to create their nation. Because this is, nah. But you know what really gets me about these people is the fact that you would think that after everything that this went through in Europe, being persecuted by their own people, that it got so bad that they had to flee Europe and look for a safe space. You would think that these people now, after they've gone through all of this, they would be, more soft and not want to do the same thing to another group of people. You would think that if nobody else understands human rights, they at least would understand human rights. You would think if nobody else can be as loving, they would be loving and accepting of people. But no, what did these people go on to do? They left Europe, traveled to another person's land, only for them to get there and go turn into exactly what they were running away from in Europe. Only for them to get there and go be the ones that are committing crimes against humanity. To the owners, the true owners of the land. The true owners that have been on that land for hundreds of thousands of years. Some people legit don't hate oppression. They just want to be the one doing the oppressing.
Shalom.